Dr. Phil, I truly need to know, is my fiancé Stephen a sex addict? Does he have multiple personalities, or is he just an awful human being?
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, a shocking accusation.
You dispute that you drugged and raped her.
That never happened. A toxic relationship.
Stephen totally attacked me.
She started slapping me.
He body slammed me.
I started spewing blood.
And then I lost consciousness.
Now,
Dr. Phil, what should I do?
should they get married?
You say that he has cheated at least 10 times with other women.
She was your lover. She's a nude stripper.
She was an exotic dancer.
She's always wanted to study architecture. I was her mentor.
You're humiliating me on national TV.
I think they're laughing at him for thinking you're going to believe that. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, Jennifer says that 4 years ago, she went on a date with Stephen, and when she woke up the next morning, she found herself naked in his hotel room with no memory of what happened the night before. She claims one thing was clear, though, that Stephen raped and possibly drugged her that night. But that's not where this tragic story ends, because Jennifer and Stephen are currently engaged. You heard me right. Jennifer is engaged to the man she claims sexually assaulted her. And this isn't the first time, or second or third time, he has proposed. They are engaged to each other for the fourth time.
The biggest problem with Stephen is he is dishonest, unfaithful, a pathological liar, abusive, and he's a narcissist. In the beginning, Stephen was so charming and he speaks so eloquently. Now I know what it is. It's called manipulation.
I love Jennifer. We have our own language.
Stephen is clearly a sex addict. He has been unfaithful more times than I can count with his exes, past mistresses, strippers, and co-workers. Recently, I found out that Stephen is spending $500 an hour for escorts. It infuriates me because he constantly lies about it and denies it. He even lied to your producers on the show and told them that I'm an alcoholic, that I drink 15 to 20 drinks per day, and that is all absolutely not true. Stephen has attacked me several times. One time, Stephen attacked me at his house after a dinner party over an argument about his ex-lovers. He tackled me and beat me up, and then called the police and said it was my fault. The most horrific attack, he body slammed me and was ripping off all my jewelry and strangled me into unconsciousness.
Here I'm bleeding, and I attempt to leave. She came out after me, sat in my car, and refused to let me leave. I was in shock.
I've left him more times than I can count. The problem is, I keep taking him back. He's so charming and manipulative, and I don't want to be alone. I truly need to know, is my fiancé Stephen a sex addict? Does he have multiple personalities, or is he just an awful human being? Dr. Phil, what should I do?
Okay, Jennifer, let me just jump right in here. You say on your first date, you believe that he drugged you and raped you.
That was not a date. That was the first time that we hung out together, yes.
First time you hung out together?
Yes.
Okay, and you're now in a relationship with him. Okay, tell me what would be a deal breaker for you?
I wasn't 1,000% sure if he did rape me or not.
You guys have been engaged 4 times? And he's asked you more times than that, right? But you've been engaged to him 4 times.
Correct.
And it's fallen apart 3 times. And you're in the 4th one right now.
Correct.
Okay. And you've been monitoring closely because you describe him as being, the only thing I could describe is very toxic in terms of the way he treats you and the way he engages with lying, hiding, manipulation, involvement with other women.
Yes.
Now, do you trust yourself? I mean, do you know the difference between reality and fantasy?
Well, yes, of course.
So you trust yourself when you tell yourself something, right?
Correct.
And you say that he has cheated at least 10 times with 5 other women that you have what you call irrefutable proof of.
Correct.
And somehow that's okay with you.
Absolutely not. That's why I'm here, sir. What's wrong with me?
Well, that's why my first question was, do you believe yourself, or has he convinced you that you're distorting reality or that you don't really know truth from fantasy? Has he brainwashed you, in your opinion, to where you don't believe yourself anymore, you don't trust yourself anymore?
Well, he definitely makes me question all kinds of stuff. He tells me, you're crazy, you're imagining things, you're paranoid. He tells me all these things.
But you've got files. I mean, we've seen the files. You say I have irrefutable proof. I've got bank records where he's paid $500 to these women, and
Correct.
Text message where he says I love you and sends them money, and you found pictures of them on his phone, naked pictures of these women.
Correct.
That they sent to him, and then he responds to them, and you say he's a sugar daddy, and you've documented those. You know, here's one. I'm interested, please call. Hello, this is Stephen, can we meet? I'm interested, can we meet? This is Stephen, are you available?
Correct.
So, and you know that's him.
These are what I just recently found. That's what prompted me to contact you guys.
You're going to this trouble to prove what you already know?
It's misery. It is, it's miserable.
But you already know what you're proving. This is just example 182, 183, 184.
Are there multiple personalities? I mean, he's so good and so great on one way, and then on the other hand, he's this unbelievable monster that does all this stuff. So my question is, are there 2 of them? Is there multiple personalities of Stephen? The good Stephen does this and the bad Stephen does all this stuff? Is he sick?
Well, if he is, then you've been together for 4 years, right? And has it gotten better, worse, or stayed the same?
It gets better, and then it gets worse.
Okay, so basically, you're no better off than you were when you started.
I guess not.
Jennifer describes her fiancé of 4 years as an abusive, lying, cheating, womanizing, sex-addicted psychopath. But she also says Stephen can be quite charming. So we'll meet this charmer when we come back.
Jennifer does not believe that I am faithful. She is very good at playing Sherlock Holmes. She goes through my bank accounts. My cell phone makes me wear a wedding ring, even though we're not married.
Tomorrow, a missing toddler.
He was last seen on a surveillance video with his mother.
A chilling discovery.
The house was infested with rats.
Investigators found a blood-stained sheet from a crib.
The mother's story.
Put him up for adoption.
No, Delaney.
She starts crying, right?
No, that's me crying. She didn't cry at all.
But is she lying?
Your fear is that this child has met with foul play, correct?
That's tomorrow. Then on Monday, will she accept her son?
This isn't a mental illness.
I'm still going to believe it's a mental illness. I gave birth to a male. I did not give birth to a woman.
As a woman,
I don't want your approval.
You won't get it, sir.
that's Monday.
Proposing is an art.
Stephen has proposed to me at least 6 times.
I have proposed to Jennifer 3 times. The first proposal was on her birthday in November of 18. I took her to dinner and I gave her the ring.
I was elated. The ring that Stephen gave me, however, was fake.
I did that deliberately. It was really a promise ring. The second proposal, after a long period of breakup, was June of 19.
He was promising a new start.
What I enjoy doing is the element of surprise. It's actually deliberate down on one knee. So, always on the right knee, right? That's just my technique.
He actually gave me 3 rings. One was an engagement ring and then a wedding set, finding out later that they were all fake. The next time Stephen proposed was when we were on a cruise in Mexico.
So I went and deliberately found a nice diamond.
The ring that I have now, it is my favorite, and it is apparently the only one that's real.
On a cruise, I purchased a new engagement ring for her, gave it to her on the beach in Cozumel, and later that day she became combative, so I took the ring back. She complained to the captain that I'd stolen the ring, and she attempted to have me arrested on the boat.
The euphoric effect of him proposing had worn off by the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th time that he had proposed.
There has never been a ring number 4. There haven't been 4 proposals. She has never returned the rings. In all of the times where we've broken up, she says, oh no, what's mine is mine, it was a gift.
Well, Jennifer has left her fiancé, Stephen, countless times, but always manages to take him back. Now, Stephen agrees their relationship is completely toxic and dysfunctional, but he is not ready to give up on Jennifer just yet because, in his words, quote, failure is not an option.
Jennifer and I have a relationship that is sometimes very good and sometimes awful.
You filthy bastard.
We are in love, but the combative, toxic, volatile nature is just incredible.
You don't like people knowing that you're a scumbag?
She is very good at playing Sherlock Holmes. She goes into my cell phone, will delete messages, delete every female name in my contacts list. She makes me wear a wedding ring even though we're not married. She wants it to be known that I'm taken. Jennifer will go through my bank accounts. She looks for any indication that I'm paying women for something.
You hire prostitutes, you scumbag. You're prostitutes, you are in hotels.
You're the only person I ever stay in a hotel with. She does not believe that I am faithful to her. The largest single problem is alcohol.
Oh, well, how much did that cost you?
You're up. She has a drink every morning and she drinks, one every 30 minutes all day long. So by the end of the day, she has consumed 15 to 20 spritzers. She will slur her words and become combative. One time, we were driving along and she reached over my head and grabbed the sun visor, yanked it out of the ceiling of the car, and started beating me with the sun visor. We keep coming back to each other because we're addicted to one another.
Okay, Stephen, good to meet you.
Good to meet you, sir.
I'm guessing that you dispute that you drugged and raped her the first time you guys hung out.
Most certainly. That never happened.
Yeah, I wanted to give you opportunity to respond to that clearly.
Never happened. And she willingly stayed with me, and I willingly stayed with her, and things happened after that. All consensual.
No, that's not true. I had been celibate for 4 years and 1 day.
So you think you were taken advantage of?
Absolutely.
If she believes that about you, why would you get back in a relationship with her? Why would she get back in a relationship with you? Why would you want to get back in a relationship with somebody that believes that you are a rapist?
She didn't speak to me, and I thought this was odd. Every now and then I would text and say, "What's the matter?" And then she would respond and say, "Leave me alone, you rapist."
She says that you've been engaged 4 times, and you say that 3, 4, the absurdity doesn't lessen whether it's 3, 4, or 6. You said when you asked her the first time, you got down on one knee, you proposed to her, and you gave her a ring that wasn't a real diamond. Did you tell her it wasn't real?
Yes, and we knew going in that this cubic Z was given, and we discussed that at some future point I would replace that stone with a real stone.
Everything he's saying is a lie. You promised to tell the truth. You promised.
And I am telling the truth.
Jennifer says she has a stack of evidence against Stephen because she fears she may go missing or be found murdered one day. And she needs to leave a paper trail so people will know it was him. We'll talk about that after the break.
Stephen totally attacked me.
She starts slapping me and pummeling me.
He body slammed me and began to strangle me.
And I started spewing blood all over the sofa.
And then I lost consciousness.
It's non-stop drama.
Do you know the difference between right and wrong?
Yes, doctor.
All month long.
You allowed her to go to bed at night thinking my mother has terminal cancer when in fact you are cancer-free.
On Dr. Phil.
You told me that I have to pull the plug, and it's a lie? Like, you're disgusting.
Alexandria has gone to the emergency room 600 times.
Sometimes it can be like 3-4 times a week.
You got off a plane because you thought you were having appendicitis.
I would feel like something is wrong, like in that moment. And then I just literally start panicking.
Real talk.
You want to force me to believe that the son that I gave birth to is a woman.
I don't want your approval.
You'll never have it.
I don't need it.
You won't get it, sir.
Dr. Phil May.
That's not what... Excuse me, I'm not done.
Well, you have to be done at some point. You have to let someone else speak.
This is all evidence that I've collected throughout our relationship. He tells me that I'm imagining the affairs, so I've always kept everything. This is 2 years of his bank statements. All the hotels, the women, the money transfers, along with love notes where he says, I love you, come to me, you're beautiful. These are folders that are full of police reports. I decided that in case anything ever happened to me, there'd be a paper trail.
Well, Stephen claims Jennifer has gotten physical with him on multiple occasions and admits that he has shoved her back, but always in self-defense. Well, what happened on the night that Jennifer claims Stephen was moments away from strangling her to death? Let's look at this.
The worst episode was approximately 2 years ago. She started to bring up the past again. She was talking about a former girlfriend. She was using expletives and 4-letter words. And I said, Jennifer, just stop.
Stephen totally attacked me, ripping off all my jewelry. He body slammed me onto my sofa and began to strangle me.
She starts slapping me and pummeling me. So I restrained her to keep her from physically assaulting me.
He took his hands off my throat and then grabbed my wrists. His right elbow was in my throat, so I couldn't breathe.
She broke away. She flung her fist, her hand, across my face.
And then I lost consciousness. I felt something drip on my face.
Apparently, either the ring or the watch cut my eye, and I started spewing blood all over the sofa.
Next thing I knew, he had jumped up off of me, and I could breathe again.
I went to an emergency care center. They had cleaned me off, stitched me up. The next morning at 7 a.m., I got a knock on my door at my house, and the police are there. And they asked me, do you want to press charges? And I said, no.
Talk about adding insult to injury. He actually, to cover his own tail, ran to the police and told a huge lie that it was actually me that attacked him.
Okay, so you got hit.
I did.
And
during his attack on me, trying to strangle me to death,
right.
And that's not true.
He got hurt, and I am appalled that you would actually come on here. You would submit a picture where you got hurt, attacking me. You
Jennifer,
got hurt.
The Uber driver took that photo because I had to take an Uber to the hospital.
And I almost died that night. I didn't.
That's just
I never.
not true.
I never even had a chance to lay a hand on you.
Well, it's not true. You enjoy playing video.
How did his face get cut like that?
When he was strangling me up like this, I finally was able to break it free, and it nicked his eye. When he saw his blood dripping on my face, he jumped up, and I could breathe again finally. I started screaming, "You are going to jail. You just tried to kill me." He wrestled my phone out of my hand, which is the same thing he does every time.
You did a social media post the next morning after this. You said, "Attention, my cell phone was stolen last night. Please contact me here on Facebook, no text please, until I have time to replace. For
Correct.
those of you coming to the football party later today, I look forward to seeing you. Go Cowboys."
Yes. I had almost 100 people, we had almost 100 people scheduled to show up at my house.
Did y'all host the party the next day?
No.
She did.
I did.
Did you come?
No,
Not him.
I went home with a face full of stitches. I agreed to meet with you, to give you your cell phone, and you were going to return my laptop because you had taken it during the scuffle and flung it like a Frisbee into the backyard, and it had disintegrated into 1,000 pieces.
That's not true. I said, I'm going to smash your laptop if you don't give me my cell phone back. He said, "You're not calling the police, smash it." So I smashed it on the patio. That's what happened to your laptop.
Any version of this is so unacceptable. And you say she's Sherlock Holmes. Jennifer claims that you've written checks to other women for sexual favors, like $250 to this person, memo consultant, $500 consulting. It just goes on and on and on. And you know this is not for consulting?
I know for a fact it's not for consulting, and that's exactly what he's going to tell you. He's just going to continue to lie.
Say that.
He's just going to continue to lie.
And I wish you'd contact the person. I mean, this person is a fledgling architect. She does drafting for me on my projects.
So you have nude pictures of your employees?
This particular person, once upon a time in her history, was a dancer. And she sent me, once upon a time, a photograph. That's it.
And your employees normally live with you? The whore lived with you.
4 people came and stayed at my house while I was staying with you.
She was your lover, and she is a nude stripper.
She was an exotic dancer?
Once upon a time.
And became a draftsman?
She's always wanted to study architecture. When she did, I was her mentor. And the last time she contacted me was to get me to sign off on her experience record for the National File.
And you don't even almost believe that.
The abuse continues. I'm watching all these people laugh at me. You're humiliating me on national TV.
No, I don't think they're laughing at you. I think they're laughing at him for thinking you're going to believe that. I have a lot of why questions here. Stephen says Jennifer is an alcoholic, but refuses to admit she has a problem. He claims she drinks 15 to 20 hard seltzers per day. That's like 1 an hour if you don't sleep much, and was even drinking in the car on the drive to Los Angeles. More on all of that when we come back, and I have very specific questions for both of them that I think is going to bring some real clarity to this whole situation.
Stephen lies all the time. Stephen agreed to sign a no more lying contract. We wrote it together and he agreed. No more lying. I was going to charge him $100 per lie. However, if it persisted, it was going to increase to $500 per lie. It did not work. He would not pay the penalties. He even lied on the no more lying contract.
You made a no lying contract with a liar.
He's very convincing. He's very convincing and he's very charming.
Something has happened in her past regarding men, and she distrusts all men, and I'm fine with that.
Well, are you trustworthy?
I believe so. I have, and there are 3 prior marriages in my history.
He's been married 4 times, not 3. He's lying.
You've been married 4 times. 1 was annulled. The other 3 were divorces, correct?
That is correct.
You wrote the lying contract in March of 2018. Was that after you found the bank statement transfers to two different women?
No, I believe that was before.
These are the transfers to women. Number 2, testing $100. Number 2, love is forever $100. Number 2, get here $150. Transfer to woman 2, because I love you, $250. Number 2, love you more than you know, $60. Transfer to number 2, for my very needy wife, $160. Transfer to woman number 1, from the man who loves you, $200. Transfer to number 1, love conquers all. What is all of that? What is this?
Yeah, about 8 years ago, I was engaged to a woman, and I would respond to her when she needed money to support her son.
Okay, so he's lying again. Why don't you just say, Jennifer caught me having an affair with a prostitute, and there's the proof. And it's actually one woman. You have woman number 2, woman number 1. The last name, it's just a maiden name.
As I just said, this was a former girlfriend.
So that's one woman.
Two names, one woman.
Correct. That's what got us into therapy the first time.
Just because you have a relationship that's 8 years ago and there's communication that follows that relationship doesn't mean it's an affair.
He created a position for her at the firm. What he does is his mistresses, strippers, and whores, in order to pay them, he creates a position at the firm.
That's lunacy.
And employs them, so they get paid, they get benefits, they get everything.
Well, Stephen says Jennifer loves to use her Christianity as a weapon against him and portrays herself as God's daughter. So why then is she engaged to a man she refers to as Satan number 4? I said I had specific questions. We didn't get to them, but we're going to get to them right after the break.
Stephen is not a godly man at all.
She calls me Satan, and she believes that it's her job to save me from the fiery pits of hell.
I have an ex that was also a narcissist, and I nicknamed him Satan. Several years later, I found out that Stephen was cut of the same cloth. So now Stephen is just Satan.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil, a missing toddler.
He was last seen on a surveillance video with his mother.
Investigators found a blood-stained sheet.
Your fear is that this child has met with foul play.
That's tomorrow.
I drink anywhere from 4 to 6 days per week. Typically, I like to sip on a spritzer. I will have 4 to 6, even sometimes 8 spritzers.
When Jennifer drinks, she will slur her words in the evening, and she wants to argue.
How much did that cost you?
I don't know what you're talking about. You're up.
It's a joke that I tell him that he keeps me medicated so that I won't leave him.
When Jennifer drinks, she calls me scumbag. I'm even in her cell phone as Stephen the Scumbag.
You're a scumbag from hell.
Honestly, my crystal ball is broken today. However, if I had to guess, I don't think I would be with Stephen if I wasn't drinking.
So is it altering your consciousness to the point that it makes him acceptable?
You tell me, you're the doctor.
If you're drinking as much as you say you're drinking, then I would say you're drinking too much. If you're drinking as much as he says you're drinking, then I would say you're drinking way too much.
Now we're focusing, like Jennifer's an alcoholic. I don't have a breathalyzer on my car like he does. I don't have a DWI like he does.
If you knew then what you know now, would you have gotten in a relationship with him?
Of course not.
And if you knew then what you know now, would you have gotten in a relationship with her? And, you know, I kind of boiled this down in black and white for you. Let's say you had a dating profile, single woman seeking man. This is how you are behaving and how he describes you. Relationship, 2 failed marriages, 1 ex-fiance, and 4 engagements to the same man. I refer to exes as Satan, 1 through 3. They were the problem, not me. Who am I looking for? Someone to treat me like a princess, buy me multiple engagement rings, wine and dine me, and take me on trips. She likes self-medicating by drinking 7 to 7. I become an evil demon acting like Sherlock Holmes to gather cheating evidence against my partner, playing the victim and threatening to call the police when people won't bring me another drink. He describes you as manipulative, mistrusting, angry, suspicious, opportunistic, argumentative, combative, unforgiving, obsessive, and drunk. Then what can I offer? Well, he says constant surveillance. I will need your phone and passwords. I'll put tracking app on your phone. I'll go through your checkbook and monitor payments. I'll accuse you of cheating. I'll be possessive. I'll hit and punch you. If I think you're lying, I'll break up with you and get back together with you, but refuse to have sex. And finally, you need to know what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. Let's look at his profile. Single man seeking woman. Greatest fear, being alone. Both of you afraid of being alone. Apparently, he's here for multiple engagements, marriage, fighting, arguing, breaking up, and getting back together. Who am I looking for? Someone to manipulate, lie to, cheat on, and have sex with. Likes. You say he likes watching porn, strip clubs, drinking excessively, being a boat captain, spending time with escorts, mentally and physically abusing women, having the police called, and getting arrested. You wouldn't be with her if you saw that profile. You wouldn't be with him as you saw. What the hell? What? Who did y'all turn down?
We're talking tarot. This is the secret to your tarot fortune with fortune teller to the stars, Angie Bannicky.
What can tarot cards tell us?
My husband is just a full-blown skeptic.
Honestly, I wasn't a big believer either. I think that's what brings my unique perspective.
I've got a secret with Robin McGraw.
I am dying for you to read my cards and answer one question for me.
Okay, let's look.
Available on Stitcher and Apple Podcasts.
Here's my point. If you believe what you say about her and you are with that person, then there's something wrong with your level of self-esteem with the standards to which you hold yourself. If you believe that he has whores and mistresses and puts them on his payroll, that he lies to you and does all of these things to manipulate you, what is it that makes you willing to settle for what you believe to be Satan number 4?
Something's wrong with me.
You say that the relationship is worth fighting for.
Only if he will do what he's saying he was going to do and tell the truth.
Your definition of truth and transparency and his definition of being forthcoming and transparent, I think, are decidedly different. And the best predictor of future behavior is relevant past behavior. The last 4 years predicts the next 4 years.
I know. I was hoping I'd hear you say that quote of yours.
Unless something dramatic, I mean dramatic, happens to cause a shift of values and a shift of conduct, beliefs, and behavior. And that certainly hasn't happened here. There's nothing dramatic that's happened that's going to cause you to redefine who you are. True?
True. The alcohol issue is being addressed. That one I'm handling. And I believe that is an issue. I think it's a baseline issue in this relationship. But my behavior, I've never struck a woman in my life. And I get this kind of accusation coming at me. So to answer your question, you're correct, other than the alcohol abuse issue that is being addressed.
Mm-hmm. So that's not going to change. So you have to make the decision, I'm either going to settle for what I don't want, or I'm going to get myself empowered, fortified, and oriented to be in a position to have what I do want. And you need help with that. And I'll get you help with that. I will set you up with Doctor On Demand, which is, it's our company, so I know it's a quality one. Jay and I started this company, and I'll set you up immediately with 10 sessions to start tomorrow. with the sole purpose of getting you answers to why you've been willing to compromise in this way. Will you take the help I'm offering you?
Yes, thank you.
Do you agree with what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay. Coming up, my next guest has an unusual hobby that has people seeing dollar signs. I'll explain when we meet her next. Want to know what's coming up on Dr. Phil? Visit our website and subscribe to our newsletter. You'll get weekly updates, life strategies, and exclusive video that you won't find anywhere else. Plus, on drphil.com, you can see sneak previews of upcoming shows. Log on today. Have you ever wondered if there's money out there just waiting for you to claim? Maybe an inheritance or cash left in an old account? Well, my next guest, Amy, has turned finding unclaimed money into a profitable hobby. But she says she could use some help finding her best self and confidence.
Hi, this is Amy. I'm busy all the time. It's stressful. Working full-time and juggling my family, it's wearing me down. I also have a very interesting hobby. I help return unclaimed property to people that didn't know they had it. The largest sum I helped return was $220,000. For myself, $16. I'm definitely starting to see the signs of wear and tear on my skin. When I go into the office, during the Zoom meetings, I see myself and I think, oh no, is that what I really look like? Growing up, we were out on the water. We were water skiing. We did lots of sunbathing. I did not use sun protection. I feel like I'm beginning to pay the price for not protecting my skin. What frustrates me most is wrinkles on my forehead, lines spreading down my cheek, my neck starting to show some age. If I can help people find money, I would love someone to help me find my youth.
Well, live video calls have become a way of life for Amy. When she sees her reflection, she feels her appearance undermines her confidence. Now, joining me virtually is Dr. Sabrina Fabi, dermatologist and spokesperson for Rock Skincare. Now, she has a solution that may help with Amy's confidence issue. So, Dr. Fabi, I understand Rock Skincare heard about Amy and they wanted to lend her a hand. So tell us about that.
Yes. Amy's time in her youth, being in the sun without sun protection, has resulted in aging skin, which now is affecting her self-esteem.
How were you able to help her?
7 weeks ago, Rock sent Amy their new retinol night serum capsules.
We have a photo of Amy's skin before using the serum.
You can see how prominent the wrinkles and lines are on her forehead.
And a month after using the serum, we checked in with Amy, so let's take a look at this.
I've been using this product from Rock. I love it. Every night I just take this capsule, put it into my fingers, and apply. I've seen an improvement in my skin. It feels softer, it feels tighter. It has a brightness to it and a firmness that I didn't have before.
Okay, Amy, well, thanks for being here. Now, seeing yourself regularly on video chats is a lot different than in your mirror, right?
It really is, Dr. Phil. In the mirror, I'm just fixing my hair or doing my makeup, and I feel like I look fine. But on the video calls, I feel like I look much older, and I worry that's the way other people see me.
Well, now that you've been using the product for almost 2 months, what do you think?
I'm so surprised at the big difference in my skin. The wrinkles on my forehead have really smoothed out, and my skin feels so much tighter and younger.
Yeah, forehead and cheeks both, right?
Yes.
So looking at these photos, the difference in Amy's skin is pretty impressive. I mean, it's really obvious. Dr. Fabi, tell us about this serum.
The capsules contain a high concentration of retinol and antioxidants to fight wrinkles. In a clinical trial, 97% of the women who tried it had visibly smoother skin in one night. And those results just got better over time. And each capsule contains exactly the right amount of serum to apply each night.
How have these results affected you?
Well, seeing how much better my skin looks has really boosted my confidence and made me less concerned about how I look on the video calls.
Yeah. And, you know, Amy, looking better does make you feel better. And the truth is, self-image and body image shouldn't vary together. So if you feel good about your presentation physically, your self-image overall does go up. So when you feel good about how you present, how you come across, then your confidence goes up, your ability to present goes up, the confidence in your language, everything goes up together. So has this been true for you?
Absolutely. Because my skin looks better, I feel younger, more energized.
Yeah, so you can get after finding that money better, right?
And Dr. Phil, I've got some news for you. You have over $3,300 in unclaimed money out there.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. If I can claim it, I will take that money and I will donate it to our domestic violence charity, When Georgia Smiled. We have a shelter in Dallas, Texas, and one in Oklahoma that can use those funds right away, so we'll send them straight out. So thanks for finding that. So Dr. Fabi, you have some news too.
Amy, and you can find this product at Walmart for less than $25. But Rock wants you to continue improving your skin, so they are giving you a 1-year supply.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you.
Well, hey, we both made out like bandits today, right? So that's a good thing. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Dr. Sabrina Fabi. How would you like to be part of our virtual audience? You could join me from anywhere in the world. All you need is a computer with a camera and a high-speed internet. For all the details, just go to drphil.com and click on Be Part of the Audience. Scroll down to reservations and fill out the form. Be sure to follow me on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you definitely want to subscribe to Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret with Robin McGraw. Not only does she share secrets, but she chats with some of the world's most powerful and talented people, and she gets them to share secrets that put them where they are. You do not want to miss a single episode. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.